Hey everyone, we're here at the Indigo. It's the last day of C2C, sadly, but I'm joined by the lovely Abby Anderson. How you doing, Abby?
Hi, I'm great. Thanks for having me. I appreciate
No
it.
worries, anytime. How have you enjoyed your time at C2C so far?
Oh my gosh, it's been crazy. Golly, it's been here 3 days. And it's felt like a week in the
Yeah.
most beautiful way possible.
That's
It's been
amazing.
awesome.
So you're heading back tomorrow, aren't you? Here?
Tomorrow morning. Yeah, I'm so
Nice.
bummed, and we're making plans to come back. So next time I'll make sure to give myself a little wiggle room to explore a little more.
Yeah. Your manager was just saying you went out. Did you have a curry last night or something? Some great Indian food?
I'll have some good Indian
Yes.
food here. I'm feeling it a little bit today, but it is so good. Oh yeah, no, it was awesome.
We need to get you to Birmingham, where we're from, because that is the home of curries up there.
Is it
You would
really?
love the Indian food in Birmingham.
I don't think you can go wrong with Indian
So,
food. You
yeah.
can't.
Next time you come to England,
Okay.
come to
I'll
Birmingham,
hit you
check
up
out the
there.
food.
I'll hit you up.
So for anybody watching this at home who isn't too familiar with you and your
Mm.
backstory, tell us a little bit about, first of all, how you got into music and what it was like growing up as one of 7 siblings.
Oh, thanks for knowing that. I mean, I love talking about my family. But no, I was born and raised in Dallas, Texas. I am the second oldest of 7, 6 girls, 1 boy, and he's the youngest. And I just grew up in a family full of love and full of music. You know, I grew up playing music in church, singing, and honestly, I loved. I don't think I would be a performer if it weren't for my big family, because it was kind of my way to get attention, you know, and it was kind of like, hey, I'm over here, you know. It's kind of my way to find my niche and my
Yeah.
thing in the world. And man, I just love music. It's ever since I started playing piano when I was 5, I knew that I wanted to be a big old country star one day.
I love
Yeah.
So tell us about that move to Nashville, because you went over when you were 18, was it?
I was 17.
17.
Yeah, I was almost 18.
Yeah. So tell us about that transition, because for such a young girl, that must be a very, very intimidating but also very exciting experience.
I feel like it. I think this is where I can be overly confident sometimes, because I was not intimidated at all. I knew Nashville was where I was supposed to be, where I was supposed to work hard and get the job done, and I just have very supportive parents who let me.
Yeah,
You know,
nice.
they're the crazy ones. I had the easy job. They're the ones who actually let me go out into the world.
I love it. And you're with Black River Entertainment,
I
aren't you?
am,
So
yes.
tell us about the night at the Ryman when you found out about the contracts and when it all kind of exploded for you.
So goodness, I just turned 19, and there had been talk about, you know, I knew that they were interested in me, and I'd seen the contract. So actually everything was done,
Yeah.
said and done. I just didn't know when we would actually sign it. And so I was playing the Ryman that night, and I got presented with it, and they were like, this is a done deal, like, let's sign you. And so I got to sign my contract right there in front of everybody.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And you released an EP last year, the I'm Good
Yes.
EP, which was a very kind of diverse project, and it showed all of your different sides. So tell us about how you approached that project and that sound, and why you felt that was a good introduction to Abby Anderson.
You know, it's funny you say, tell us about that sound. I didn't think of it as I mean, it's probably the most incohesive thing I've ever been a part of, because when I was picking those songs, there wasn't really much thought into it more than, do I like it or do I not? Does it make me smile or doesn't it? And if it did, it went on the project. If it didn't, you'll never hear about it. You know, so no, it's just a project that I'm really proud of. I didn't think much of it, honestly, but the response has kind of blown me out of the water. It's very humbling.
I was watching you at the after party the other day, and the amount of people that knew every single word to those
Isn't that
songs. There's like some real
crazy, man?
die-hard Abby Anderson
It's
fans in there.
crazy.
But one of my favourites on there was Dance Away My Broken Heart,
Oh,
which
thank
kind of stood out to me because it was written by Thomas Rhett and Kelsey Ballerini, wasn't it?
Yes.
So how did that song end up being yours, and how did
Yeah.
you kind of find that song?
So Kelsey Ballerini is my label mate, and she has a career that I really admire, and she's a hard worker and a writer that I really look up to. And my label, we were looking at, you know, what songs should we release next. I just needed songs. And as much as I love writing, I just didn't have a lot of up-tempos because I'm a piano player. So honestly, ballads were just really natural to me at the time. And they were like, we got to get you some up-tempos, girl, you know. And so Kelsey had turned in that song, and my label played it for me, and I'm like, shoot, let's do it. I love it. I felt like I could have written it, you know. Yeah.
Tell us about that process of kind of selecting a song. Is it difficult to get those kind of songs? Is there a lot of competition for a song that's written by the likes of Kelsey and Thomas?
I mean, my goodness, if I were Kelsey and Thomas Rhett, I would probably rather have someone way bigger than I am cut one of my songs because it has a better chance of getting out there. So I'm very happy that they let me because, I mean, they could have had anybody cut it. And so you're right, it is hard to find the good ones when you're not, I guess, when you're at my level, you know.
And we saw you performing Shallow with Jimmy the other night, which was an incredible performance.
Thank you.
And Jimmy's just exploded at C2C. He's done so well here. So tell us about working with him on that song and also why that song.
Yeah, no, so Jimmy called me up at the end of last year and was just like, hey, I want to cover Shallow. Want you to do it with me. Here's the idea. Here's the concept. Just say yes. And I said yes. And here we are, you know. And when we were first, you know, thinking about this, we didn't really think it'd be this big of a thing. We just thought it'd be great for, you know, the Oscars were 2 days later. It'd be great for some eyes. But I didn't think it would get as many eyes as it did. So I'm very thankful for that. And I love Jimmy. He's a good pal. I've known him for years.
He's a real character, isn't he?
Man, I love him. He's just one of those people that makes me happy. He makes me, and he's a hustler. He works hard.
Yeah. And you've done a lot with Bobby Bones recently in the States as well. I noticed you did some shows with him, and he's also put you in his class of 2019. So tell us a little bit about working with him and kind of what he's doing for females in the industry at the moment.
Let me tell you what, Mr. Bobby Bones is a champion, and he's a true lover of music. I don't think I've met anybody in the industry that loves music or knows more about music than he does. Yeah. And he's a picky guy. I mean, he doesn't just put anybody in his class or play anybody on his radio show. And so the fact that he picked me, I was very humbled, very honored by it. I love him.
Yeah. Just finally, Abby, what's your long-term goal for the UK now? Because this festival's been a great platform for so many artists, and we've seen people come back and headline tours after playing at C2C. So what's your kind of long-term goal for him?
World domination, Dan. We're just going to take the UK over. Y'all don't need to know. Let's go. No, but in all seriousness, I plan on coming back, plan on playing more shows, and definitely growing the audience here.
Yeah, that's what we like to hear. Well, Abby, thank you for doing this. Appreciate your time,
and
we'll hopefully catch up next time you come over.
Appreciate it. Thank you.